Okay, so this is the Edge to Edge SEO podcast. This is the very first episode. And what I wanted to do is start recording a podcast probably once a week. Although this is a Wednesday, I'll probably be doing it once a week on a Tuesday or once every fortnight at the most. So, what I'm going to be doing is talking about one particular topic at the very start of the podcast, and then towards the end of the podcast, I will answer any questions that you have, or answer any questions that I've received over email or social media or anything like that. Previously to this podcast. So I'll get straight into the video, into the podcast. Sorry, and today's topic, we're going to be talking about how you can create a website, an effective website for your local flooring company. And this is going to be talking about a few different things from a kind of website perspective. Firstly is designing a website that is going to rank in search engines, so it's good for SEO. Next, it's going to be creating a website that actually converts when people land on it. And then also, just generally creating a website that is marketable, and you can obviously start running other kind of marketing campaigns to it, and it's going to be effective when you do actually get traffic to it. A lot of people and a lot of websites, a lot of flooring companies that I see out there, some of them have very nice looking websites, but they don't get any traffic to them, so they're effectively useless websites. You can have the best looking fancy website that's ever been made, but if no one actually visits it because you're not getting them to your website, then this is effectively a useless website. So let's get straight into this. So what I'm going to do is just this website here is a website that I've created, like a dummy website, and this is a completely made up brand. But I've created it for the purposes of demonstrations and things like that, to show flooring companies like effective websites and what can be achieved. So basically, the first thing I started with is thinking about the core pages that we needed. So the core pages that we need are going to be obviously the main page being the home page, then you've got the About Us page, Contact Us, Services, and then Catalog as well. So these are what we call like the top level pages, the tier 1 pages. These are the most important pages on your website. And essentially what I've done on the homepage is, as we start coming down this homepage, is I've incorporated all of different aspects of these different pages on the homepage, because the homepage is almost like a portal to the rest of your website. So let's start by just analysing this site and going down it and explaining why I built it like I did. So essentially, the first thing you'll notice is the brand name at the very top here. So your brand name should always be your heading 1. Your brand name is the most important thing about your business, and that's what you want to be growing and building and trying to build authority to. So you always need your heading 1 being your brand name on your homepage, and then you have a little bit about your business below that. You can have your slogan or something like that. And we also want to make sure that we've got a very nice kind of clear high quality picture as the kind of hero image here. So generally, if you can, then your like a picture that you've taken yourself is going to be better. So as we move down the page, you can see we've obviously got a little bit more information there. Then we move down, we've got the first section, which is services. So we basically, the thinking behind this is, obviously someone lands on your site, first thing they're going to want to know is, do you offer what they're looking for? So that's why you got your services here. You can see at the top here, if we got hover over services, I've got commercial and residential. So at the moment, this is just our services. You can, if you wanted to, have two blocks here saying commercial and residential, and then you can go into your services as well. As we keep going down a little bit more, you got the product section. Now the product section is a link to essentially like your catalog, so you can log any kind of products and any products that you offer here, and show people like ranges of LVT, vinyl, carpet, or any kind of commercial or residential flooring that you offer. But we'll go into these pages in a little bit more detail soon. So after they find out what you offer, they might want to find out a little bit more about you. So that's why this section here is just a little snippet about who you are and what you do, and how you were founded and things like that. But don't overdo this section. This is just needs a little bit of information to build up a little bit more trust as they're going down the page. So as they keep going down the page, you just want to make it clear to them as we get to this section how easy it is for them to actually take action. So you can see here we've got 3 steps. We never do any more than 3 steps because we don't want to overcomplicate things. People kind of switch off after the 3rd step. So, just really like dumb it down to contact us, consultation, installation, or whatever your process is. So just to show that there's no unexpected kind of process in this. When they contact you, they know exactly what's going to happen next and after the next step. Then we'll move on to another section. This is the review section. So basically, as we're going down the page, we're obviously like helping them understand the process, and then we're trying to build more authority to your business and to your, to what you're offering. So these reviews here are obviously going to be, 5-star reviews about your business. You can obviously get these straight in from directly from Google as well. So it would be better if you did that. Let's say you had like 100 5-star reviews. It would show here you got 100 5-star reviews on Google. And just look a lot better rather than copy and pasting reviews into here. As we keep coming down, we go to the next section, which is accreditations, awards, certificates. So again, another little chance to show off some of that kind of stuff. And again, this kind of goes hand in hand with the reviews. People can see that you do a good job, and they can see that you've got these awards and certificates and things like that kind of complement your reviews. Okay, so if we keep coming down, we move on to the case study. So we're going a little bit deeper now into building more authority and more trust. Let's go. So, what you want to be doing here is kind of displaying 2 of your kind of best, most prestigious case studies that you've got, or something that is going to kind of relate to your audience as best as possible. Then we move down into another section, which is the recent articles. So again, these could be the top level articles. These could be the most important articles that cover your services in the best way possible. So it could be a guide to flooring. It could be flooring maintenance, flooring, whatever else, whatever is the kind of top level. So people get access to the most important articles first. You can imagine someone that doesn't know anything about flooring at all when they come onto your website. You're gonna know where you want them to start in this process. You're gonna know what article is best for them to read to get the best information to then make the best buying decision. So that's why you would have your top articles here. I mean, you could have your most recent ones as well. So, entirely up to you there, whatever way you wanted to do that. Next, we move on to frequently asked questions. So really, we only want to be asking about 5-6 questions. We don't want to be overdoing this. You can have so many frequently asked questions and no one's going to read them. But these ones here are going to be mainly just about your business. They're not going to be in too much depth about your products and services. It's going to be kind of high-level questions about your business, what your opening times, your costing, your fitting process, all that kind of stuff. Nothing too heavy or products specific. It's just going to be more about your business and how you operate. Then we get to the contact us section. So we're going to make this form extremely easy and simple for people to fill out. So we've only got 4 fields here, and obviously the most important things, which is name, email, phone, and message. Now you can obviously have other fields in there, but I would be a little bit. I would caution you not to use too many fields because, you don't want to give people too much choice because then they get analysis paralysis. But at the same time, obviously you want to get enough information out of them to know that they're a good fit for your business and for your services. So generally, this is fine. But the only thing you can probably add to this, if you wanted to, if you was a little bit more specific about who you actually served, would be like check boxes. Nothing too intensive. You don't want people. The more people are lazy. The more you have to get them to do, the less likely they are going to contact you. So just keep this as simple as possible. Add some check boxes for perhaps services like that or something like that if you wanted to, residential, commercial, or maybe like specific services. But that's fine, I would say. And then we move on to the next section, which is areas we cover. So this is going to help with SEO a lot, but generally just want to show people that they are, they have got the right company in the right area, and you do serve the area that they live in. And then all of these different locations here are going to link to your location pages, which we'll come to shortly. So, yeah, essentially this is kind of the main pages here. And then we come down here, we've got the map, and this map is obviously going to be pinned onto where your business is actually located. So again, you're confirming where you're located. And then last, we've got a little call to action at the bottom here. And then we come to the footer. So the footer is where we add more links. Basically, we want to keep this top menu nice and simple and clean. We don't want too much choice, but the footer there is just going to be more about like trying to help people navigate your site a little bit better, and obviously help Google find the right pages. So yeah, that's kind of the homepage really explained, and like I say, it encompasses all of these different core pages, and really gives people a kind of gateway to the rest of your site. So if we look at the other pages here, so I've split them into two. You've got menu, which is the kind of, like I say, the core pages plus a few more. So plus like case studies, locations, blog. Blog was at the top. Oh no, the blog isn't at the top. So blog there, brands and gallery. And then we got on another menu here for services. So we can obviously list all the services out there that you offer. So if we now take a look at some of these other pages here, didn't mean to click on that. One sec, let me just go back. So we've got the other pages here. So if we go through and actually look at the About Us, Contact Us and Services pages. So really quickly, the About Us page, pretty standard page. Just want a little bit of information about your business. And then you want to just like link to your services and the areas that you cover as well, just to give people a little bit more information and obviously keep navigation of your site nice and clean. And then we've got the Contact Us page. Again, nothing fancy, literally like if someone wants to contact you, that's pretty much all they want to do. They want to fill out a contact form, or they want to get some contact information and know where you're based. And then obviously add some quick links at the bottom here. So again, same thing, adding your location pages, links to those, and also your services. So then we move on to the services. So if we actually click on services here, you'll see that it takes us through to what we call a hub page, services hub page. So you can see you've got a residential flooring link here, and then you've got all of your residential services underneath the residential flooring section. If we keep on going down, let's say you offer commercial flooring, then you'd also find that here as well, and you get all your commercial flooring links below here as well. Obviously, these aren't commercial or aren't specifically for commercial. These ones, these are just obviously the same services repeated here. And obviously, you can go through to the different services from here. But then you've got contact. If we hover over services, you've got commercial, and then we've got residential. So if you was to click on commercial, that would go through to the commercial hub page. So again, it's the same page as that almost, except we're not obviously displaying residential now. We're just displaying the commercial. So we're just making it so easy for people to navigate this site. Whether they click on services, commercial, residential, they're always going to find what they need. And obviously Google will have the same kind of experience as well. And then, let's say that we do want to go through to one of our services. You can either click here, obviously go through here and look at the drop down and find the service that you want. So we go through to wood flooring, for example. And you can see this is a service page, pretty standard service page. So in the way I've laid this out is obviously you've got content, heading, and then an image. And we kind of alternate between that kind of layout. So it's a very effective way of making your pages quite visual at the same time as getting enough information in there, and at the same time making it easy for people to contact you. You can break up the sections by having like a kind of midsection like that. And then you can go back to the same kind of layout where you're sort of alternating the images and the text again. So you can keep repeating this kind of this layout until you've covered everything you need about this service. So it's a very effective way of getting a lot of information on the page, but at the same time making it look nice and easy to kind of navigate. And then we've obviously got benefits here as well. So you might have 5 or 6 benefits that you can add to this page about this particular product or service, or just generally about your business. What are the benefits of using you, so you can add them here and obviously add like a logo or something like that. So benefits are a good way of just kind of giving people a little bit of information really quickly about your products and services, and obviously again helping with building authority and trust to your business. And then again we come to the steps and we come to frequently asked questions. So the frequently asked questions this time are going to be specifically about this product and service. They're not going to be about your company in general. They're going to be about what is it about wood flooring that people need to know. And then we've got reviews. Again, if you can add reviews on here that are specifically about wood flooring, that would be even better, because remember, Google can, anything that's on your page, even if it's a little bit of information like this that comes directly from Google, Google can read that content and it will crawl and index that content. So for example, if there was a review here about, all of these reviews here were about carpet, let's say that let's say that Google crawled and indexed your page, it would read the content about carpet on these reviews, and it would actually add, it would take that into account when it's trying to understand your page a little bit better. You might have the title wood flooring, but then there's a lot of information about carpet on there. It might confuse it a little bit more and sort of dilate the content a little bit. And then we've got the About Us page, which is obviously going to be similar to your About, a kind of a shorter section to your actual About page there. And then again, awards, accreditations, case studies, and recent articles, all and another way of adding authority to this page. And again, same thing with like I said, with the reviews. Make sure that these case studies and these articles, they actually relate to this product and service, because again, this is more content on this page that Google can read and index, that if it's not related to wood flooring or the service that they're on, then it's going to get added. Google's going to see that content. It's going to see that there's carpet or there's LVT or something in there on a wood flooring page, and it's going to potentially confuse your content a little bit. So you've got to bear that in mind. And then just talk about the structure really quickly of the actual URL. So you can see up here, you've got the way I've structured it is basically a hierarchy of information. So at the very start here, you've obviously got the core of the website, the root domain, then you've got the services because we're on a service, and then you've got residential because we're on residential, and then we've got wood because we are on the wood flooring page. You don't need to write wood flooring because flooring's actually in the name of the URL. The flooring's there. You see this company here is called Choose Flooring. So flooring is actually part of this URL already. So you don't actually need to write flooring again there. Google knows it's about flooring, but it's a hierarchy, and you don't necessarily have to write. A lot of URLs are very poorly structured on the internet. Really, you should just be breaking them down into single words like this. So and making sure that it's logical. We've clicked on services, we've then clicked on residential, we've then clicked on wood. That's all you need. So yeah, that's really the service page. Now let's move on to the catalog. So the catalog is also, I think, pretty important for a flooring company. Now, not necessarily to sell, not as an e-commerce site. We're a local flooring company here, so we don't need to sell online. The idea is to get people down to our showroom and our shop to then sell them the flooring that they need. Or alternatively, you might sell them over the phone, and then go out and measure up or drive to them, with your mobile showroom. But essentially, we're not trying to sell online. We're not an online shop. We're a local flooring company. So the point of this catalog is just to give people a little bit more of an insight into the actual products and services that you use. And again, I've split them up into two: commercial and residential. So I've made it very simple for people to find the products that they need just by sorting them into these two categories. So if we click through into, for example, residential, we go through here, you can see I've then created more categories. So I've put laminate, carpet, vinyl, wood, and you can obviously add as many different categories of flooring that you wanted on here. And then you've got all of the products below. So if you just want to browse them without actually looking at the different categories because you don't know what you want, then you could just look here and obviously choose by looking at the whole catalog here. Obviously, I've only added 4 ranges at the moment, but if you click through and you went over to carpet or vinyl, let's go through to vinyl. You can see that we're now got products that are just related to vinyl. So we can then click through and we can actually read more about this, and not actually putting too much information on this page. Put a nice image that you can get from the manufacturer, or obviously you can take them yourself if you wanted to, but generally the manufacturers will obviously supply you with any images that you need. And then just a little bit of snippet of information about it, and then a description if you wanted to add a little bit more. You can add the prices, you can add anything else that you wanted on this page, but generally you want to keep it kind of short and sweet. You don't want to give them too much information, and you want to basically, the main thing you want to be doing is trying to get them to actually make an inquiry with you or book a consultation, or get them to come down to your actual showroom. So that's always going to be the point here. And the point with this catalog is, like I say, it's not to actually upload thousands and thousands of products to it. It's just to upload like ranges. So just upload like a kind of like a one vinyl range, without uploading all of the different products within that range. Just upload one of them, and one picture showing customers kind of a bit of a snippet into that range, just to give them a little bit more of an idea of the products and services that you offer before they come down and buy from you. And obviously, if they can see all this and they can research all this before they actually come down to you, it's going to make your job a hell of a lot easier when they come down to you, knowing exactly what type of flooring they've seen on your site and what they want to actually potentially have in their house or their property or their office. So you're making your job easier essentially. And yeah, if people can see like a good quality image like this of the type of flooring it is, they can start picturing in their mind what that's going to look like in their house, whether it be on their stairs, in their bedroom, in their living room, hallway, or anything like that. They can start getting a kind of rough idea of what it's going to look like in their property. And that's the thing with any kind of sale. You're trying to build them. You're trying to get them to see the kind of dream, what they need to, that you're trying to get them to envisage. How things are going to look and what things are going to look like after they've bought your product. How's it going to improve their life? How's it going to improve their property? And that's what we're trying to do with this section. Okay, so obviously we've gone through all of these kind of main, what I call the core pages, and then what we're going to do is just quickly look at some of the pages down here before we go to the location page last, because that is the page that is really most important for SEO. But really quickly, we go over to case studies here, and again you can see that I've categorized them. Not categorized them, sorry, but you can see that you can easily click onto these different case studies here, but you could categorize them, sorry. So you could quite easily create a case study section for LVT flooring. You could quite easily create a section for wood flooring, and then you could link to them here. So you can categorize these case studies as much as you want, or you could just let them kind of upload as they would normally, where the most recent ones to the top. If we just really quickly click on one of these case studies, the page itself is again very, very basic, but what we're trying to do here is we're just trying to make them focus on just the case study and the work you've done, as opposed to obviously putting loads of buttons and things like that around it. We're just trying to get them to focus on this one bit of information that you're trying to provide them about this product and service that you fitted in for someone else, the results that you've got for someone else. Okay, so moving on to the blog, pretty similar setup really. So again, we can obviously create sections for different types of blogs. We can categorize them. At the moment you can see uncategorized there, but we could quite easily create different sections, a bit like how I did with like the catalog, where you can obviously put like a label at the top for the different types of LVT or carpets and things like that. Again, we click through to the blog article, keeping it nice and simple. You might have noticed on the other pages, if we go back and we start scrolling down, you can see that the main menu that sticks to the top. If we move to the blog section, it doesn't stick to the top. The reason being is because I want them to focus more on the information of on the blog itself. We don't really want them to take any action at this stage, because generally people that are reading blog articles and informational content, they're not at the stage of buying or ready to buy at that point. They need to find out a little bit more information about the products and services that you offer before they actually decide to go ahead and make an inquiry with you. So that's why this page is really about just trying to give them all the information that they need about your products and services and give them the best experience on your blog as possible. But obviously down the right hand side I have linked you can quick link to different sections of the article, a little bit of information about your business, recent articles, and then obviously got contact details if they did want to note down any details of yours, or they wanted to fill out a contact form there and then. So moving on, we go to another couple of pages that I think are pretty important for a flooring company, and one of them is brands. So with all of the different products and services that you offer, there are a hell of a lot of brands out there that you could either supply or install or anything like that. So this section here is really just to show off that you do work with these different types of brands. And some people might come on your site and they might know already that they want, for example, Amtico flooring. So if they saw brands, they might click on that page, they might see that you do Amtico flooring, and then they know that they can then make an inquiry with you, and they know that you've got the flooring that they need. Another reason is also you can actually start creating separate pages about these brands. So for example, you can rank for like Amtico flooring in London. You can rank for all these different brands in different locations. So if that was something that you wanted to do, and it is a good strategy to obviously get a little bit more traffic to your website, then you'd actually want to link these logos, for example, to their own pages. You'd want to create a whole page about Amtico flooring, for example, so that people can then see that you offer that product and service. Google can see that you know a lot about that particular brand, and then when you do create your location page, you can link to that page, and you start ranking for those keywords as well. So again, you can section all these up so people can obviously see quite easily the different brands that you offer for the different products and services. Lastly, from the kind of core services would be the gallery. Gallery is a pretty important page because unlike the kind of case studies are kind of in-depth way of looking at or showing off the work that you've done, whereas a gallery, some people just want to see some of the work you've done, and they just want to kind of see some projects that are similar to the ones that they've got in mind. And a gallery is a very good way of showing that. You can obviously categorize them again like I have, and obviously the more photos you can add on here, the better. More work that people can see of yours that you've done, the better. So again, it's going to create more trust and authority by having a gallery on here, and it's a very easy way to put content on here without having to spend an hour or two creating a case study or a decent case study. So that's really the core pages kind of covered. So the last thing that I'll go through is the location pages, and the location pages are one of the most important pages for local SEO. So if we click through to locations here, you can see we've got locations we serve. Now this is a location hub page, so a bit like the services page where I was showing you how it links to all of these different types of services here. With the location page, the location hub page, sorry, you link to all of the different locations, location pages that you've built. So for example, let's say that you worked in London, and obviously you serve the whole of London. Then you would build all of your kind of overall main pages first. So for example, like Floor in London, Floor in Central London, Floor in South East London. Well, you might drill down a little bit more and start targeting different boroughs in London. Floor in for example, Hackney or something like that. Floor in Greenwich and places like that. So you're kind of you're targeting London, but then you're targeting all of the kind of different smaller locations as well. And this is a very easy way for obviously people and Google to navigate to try and find these pages. So we're going to make sure that these pages get crawled and indexed, quickly and efficiently. But the main thing is you want to be really targeting the kind of top level topic initially. You don't really want to be starting to creating all of these different pages for vinyl, carpet, laminate, or wood flooring in London, because these days, with the rise of kind of AI content and the availability of content. There has been so much content that has kind of essentially spammed the internet in the kind of last kind of 2 years, and Google has really cracked down on it by not crawling and indexing that many pages. For example, it's being very picky about the pages that it actually indexes and shows in its search results nowadays, because there is so much content out there, and that's why creating for example, like a wood flooring London page, vinyl flooring London page, carpet London page, laminate flooring London page, creating all of these pages is a little bit overkill. You don't need to do that anymore. Generally, you can target all of these different products and services with the one page, which is Flooring London, because Flooring London is essentially the top level term for all of the different types of flooring that you offer. So, for example, if we click through to this Flooring London page, you'll see what I mean. So on this page, you can target, although this is Flooring London, we don't at this point know the exact type of flooring that this person needs when they land on this page. They just know they need flooring in London. So this page here can now encompass all of the different types of flooring that you offer on this page. But we'll go through the kind of structure of this page to begin with. So the first thing you can see, obviously at the moment, we've got a picture of London in the background. Google is very clever. It can look at pictures and it can understand pictures. It will be able to pick up landmarks from these pictures, and it will be able to work out where this picture is. So for example, it will be able to know that this is London because obviously you've got the Gherkin there and you've got other kind of different landmarks there. Then what we do, this is a landing page. We're trying to get people to find this page through keywords, through transactional keywords, which is things like flooring in London, flooring company in London, flooring suppliers in London, flooring installation in London, whatever it is. So the people that are searching for these keywords are ready to buy. So that's why you need a contact form right at the very top. You need to let them know that this is the page. They can literally come on here and they can get in touch with you about what they're looking for. So we've got the inquiry form. We got the picture of London, or the location at the back there, and then we've obviously got your heading one, which is going to be the main keyword, the top level topic, Flooring London. And then under that we've got your brand name. You always want to put your brand name on here because we're trying to build your brand. And then a little bit of information about this product and service in this location. So the best way that I found to lay out location pages, what happened there, just before I carry on, is basically one thing that I like to add to location pages or any kind of landing page is an exit pop-up. So basically, if I was to move my mouse to the top of the screen here and to the left where it comes up to the X, that's when that pop-up comes up. So essentially, if someone hasn't filled out their contact details, if they haven't contacted you, and they are starting to move away from this page and they are starting to press the back button, then that's what pops up, this bit here, just to try, it's that kind of last kind of effort to try and get them to fill out their details before they leave this page. So let's cover that really quickly. But the way I found that is very effective for a location page is basically splitting it in two. And at one side you have kind of like your location details. So for example, a map pinpointing the area that you're covering, any kind of locations that are covered within that area. So for example, London, you would obviously write all of the boroughs in here, or if you was covering a borough, then you would have all of the different locations that fall underneath that borough. So you're trying to create this page, make this page as relevant as possible to the location that you're targeting. And then, and it makes sense as well, because if someone lands on a Flooring London page, then they might think, well, London's a big place. Do they actually operate in, for example, the where we got Wembley area? And if you've got Wembley written here, then they know that you do. So again, it's all very logical having this kind of information at the side here. Then we carry on down. You've got service plus location, so you can show all the different services that you offer. So it could be LVT, carpet, vinyl, wood, all of that, all listed here. As we keep coming down here, you want to put a little bit of snippet of a review here, quite high up in the page to obviously, try and get a little bit of credibility and stuff like that as quickly as possible. And then another contact form in case they're ready to contact you then, and then your contact details. Now down this side of the page is more like the informational content. The content, not informational content, but the content that is going to actually get us ranking on Google. So at the top here, let's say it was Flooring London. This next heading here would be heading 2, and that would be Flooring Company in London. Or no, it would be Flooring Suppliers in London. Following on from that, you might have Flooring Installation London, because that is logical. That's the next logical heading from Flooring Suppliers London. Following on from that, you might start listing the different products and services that you offer. So, for example, you would put in here Vinyl Flooring London. Then you would put Carpet London, and you would be writing a little bit of information about each of these products and services in this location. And then we've got a little benefits section here again, so you could obviously write some benefits about using your company. Obviously putting them in these kind of little boxes like this makes them very easy to kind of digest and skim read. Remember, a lot of people don't necessarily read content these days. They just skim through it and find the information that they need before actually taking the action that you want them to. So again, what we're trying to do here is we're just trying to build out the page. We're trying to put as much good quality information on here as possible that's going to get us ranked for this overall topic. You think if from Google's perspective, if you're trying to rank for Flooring London, then what are the things that need to be covered on this page that are going to get you ranking? It's going to be covering the other types of flooring. It's going to be covering the different services. So for example, installation, supply, vinyl, laminate, lino, carpet. All of these are words that are synonymous with flooring. They're semantically related. So they're the kind of keywords and that you need on this page. Again, semantically related keywords to London are going to be the boroughs that are in London. So that's why those are obviously on the page. So we're trying to get as much relevant information on here as possible. Now, this top section here is all about trying to get it's all about content that ranks. All of this bit at the bottom here is all content, is all sections that we've already seen on the website elsewhere. So for example, the 3 steps, then you've got the frequently asked questions, except this time these frequently asked questions are going to be specifically about this product and service in this specific location. Then we've got reviews, about us section, case studies. Again, case studies, if you've got case studies in London, then you want to put them here rather than kind of random case studies, but again, it doesn't really matter so much. I mean, this little bit of information here does. You do want that to be the right kind of information about this product and service, but if you don't have London case studies, then wouldn't worry it too much. Having a case study on there is just a good thing. And then you've got blog post again, same thing with blog post. And then we've got links to our services, so you can add all of the services that relate to this service at the bottom here. Okay, so that really covers the website. There's not really kind of too much more information to give you about this site. This is kind of it is a basic site, but it's a well-structured site. It's a nice looking site. It's a fast loading site. It's not full of fancy features or anything like that. It does exactly what it needs to do, which is rank your business. In the search results, it's to get people, it's to convert people into actual sales, get them to actually make an inquiry, and obviously build, authority and a good reputation of your business on here as well. So, right at the bottom here, last 2 pages you got is privacy policy and sitemap. Privacy policy, obviously covering all of the kind of main information about your business and what you're willing to offer people in terms of refunds, all that kind of stuff. And then the sitemap, just another way for Google to kind of look at a kind of high level view of your website and then navigate through it. Again, if we can look at the URL structure at the top here, we're making it logical. So this is a location, this is a service within a location, this is a residential service in a location, this is a flooring service, this is a flooring residential service in a location, and then this is London. This is the target in the area London for flooring, for residential flooring. It's a service and it's a location. So that's the kind of thinking behind that URL structure. Okay, so that is really the kind of end of this section of the podcast where I talk about a specific topic. What I'm going to do now is jump into a few questions that I've got that come to me through email a little while ago. So I'll just go over a few of these questions just to kind of give you a little bit more information if there's anything else that you wanted to know. So Liam asked a little while ago, what are the best online marketing strategies for getting more customers for a local flooring company? So it's quite a hard question to answer, because really there isn't kind of one best online marketing strategy. Essentially, they all work. It's not so much that there's one strategy that if you did it would work for you and generate you a shit ton of leads. It's more about trying to find a strategy that works for your business and something that you kind of enjoy as well. First of all, who's going to implement this strategy? Is it going to be you? Are you going to hire someone to do it? If it's going to be you, then first of all, you need to take interest in this strategy. You need to actually get good at this strategy. So you have to spend a lot of time and hours and money trying to get good at this strategy. If you hired someone, it isn't so much of a problem. Like, you can obviously hire someone that is passionate about what you're trying to get them to do. So the point is, though, all you have to do is, 1, 2, or 3 strategies very good to a very high level, and that is enough to generate your flooring company with consistent quality leads. And there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 different strategies that you could implement, and a lot of them will all work if you spend enough time on them, spend enough time getting good at them, hiring the right people for them. But you just need to pick one initially, then you can move on to 2 and 3 and just get really good at a few of them, as opposed to trying to do loads of them at one time and just not doing any of them very well. You have to be good at least one of them. Sophie asked, how important is social media for a local flooring business, and which platforms should you use? So social media is important for any business these days. There is no business that wouldn't benefit from social media, I don't think. Now, the only thing you got to kind of realize is there's social media. You have to, different strategies are kind of aimed at different things. So, for example, if you're just putting content out on a kind of weekly basis, then you're kind of waiting for people to come to you. To grow a kind of social media channel, or to grow like your Facebook channel, to grow your Instagram channel, your YouTube channel, it's not just a case of putting content out there. You have to actually do other kind of marketing to get people to your channel, to discover you. So just putting content out there on a weekly basis or whatever it is, it's good because you're creating a presence. You're always there, and when people do a little bit of background research on you, you can see that you're an active company, and you know your stuff because you're obviously putting this content out. But at the same time, you still need a strategy to get people to grow your social media, your following. You can't just rely on just putting content out and hoping that people will find you. You have to do other things to try and get them there, like emailing you, or even SEO and things like that is going to get people to kind of find out about your business, and then to try and and to follow you and stuff like that. So in terms of actually content marketing on social media, it's a good strategy, but you have to understand that it's not going to be one of those strategies that's going to kind of generate you lots of leads and things like that initially. You have to do kind of other things to try and accompany it and trying to get people to find you and kind of market your social media channels. But social media advertising, for example, that can be very effective. One very effective strategy when it comes to social media advertising would be, if someone visits your site, if you've got a cookie on your site, then they will start seeing adverts about your flooring company on their social media for the next X amount of time. So it's a good way to keep yourself top of mind. If someone's already looked on your site, then that's a good chance that they're already kind of interested in your products and services. So if you can continue to market to them when they've left your site, then that's another good way of using Facebook. But again, obviously you're going down the paid ad routes there. Ethan asked, what are some tips for making our website show up better in local search results? So obviously there's a lot of kind of answers to this question, because SEO is a kind of massive there's so many different parts of SEO. To break it down really quickly, the main thing to get your website to show up better in local search results, you need to make sure that you've got all of your location pages on your website. So for example, if you're targeting like flooring in London, then you need to make sure that you've got a flooring London page. You then need to make sure that your Google Business profile is filled out effectively, so you're targeting all of the right keywords in there. You're not missing any information. You're posting regularly on the post section of your Google Business profile. You're getting reviews on a consistent basis. And then once your website and your Google Business profile are in a good place, then you need to be making sure that you're building backlinks. You're doing the off page. You're building backlinks on a consistent basis. So basically, you're outreaching to other websites that are related to your industry, and you're getting links from their website and pointing them back to yours. So essentially, they're the three main pillars: is making sure that your website is in a good place, making sure that you've got the right content on your website, making sure that your Google Business profile is optimized and filled out effectively, and then also making sure that your off page is also effective, making sure that you're reaching out to the right companies and you're getting links on a consistent basis pointing back to your main website. So the next question is, how do online reviews help us get new clients, and how can we get more positive reviews from customers? So obviously any company that's getting more and more kind of consistent reviews is going to build authority through getting those kind of 5-star reviews on a consistent basis. For example, if someone's only got if you're searching for a flooring company and one company's only got kind of 4.5 star reviews, and then you've got 80 5-star reviews, then it's a pretty easy choice to make as to who you're going to contact for an inquiry. And especially when you, let's say you search for a flooring company or flooring services on Google, one of the first boxes that you get up on the Google search is going to be the Google Map Pack, and the Google Map Pack will only actually show 3 different companies. So most people don't actually click through to Google Maps. They will literally just see those 3 companies at the top there. They'll choose the one that looks the best based on the amount of reviews and the best average score, and then they'll make an inquiry based on that. To actually get more positive reviews, then you're going to need a system in place. So the system that works for you is not going to be a system that works for every flooring company. Some people are happy to ring up a client or a customer that the day after it's been fitted, or a week after it's been fitted, as a kind of a follow-up call. Other companies, they might want to send out like an automation where, for example, you put the contact's phone number and email address into the automation, and then that will automatically reach out to them up to about 5 times asking for a review. Some different strategies are going to work better for different companies. So the most effective strategy that I've seen that works really is once you've gone out and you've fitted the flooring, then give them a courtesy call the following day and literally ask them on the phone whether they can leave a review. If you don't get nothing back, send a text message to them, and again, if you don't get anything from that, then you can put them into an automation which will then follow up with them through email and phone. Another thing that you can do is you can also create competitions. So for example, if you wanted to, so for example, if you went out and fitted someone's flooring, and obviously you could tell they was happy with the flooring and happy with the whole process, then you can ask them for a review at the end, and you can say at the end of every month or every quarter we run a competition, and if you leave us a review, you get entered into that competition and you can win whatever prize. That's another. You have to give people incentives sometimes. Even if you have done a good job for them, you have to leave them incentives to actually leave a review. Some people, even if they absolutely love the flooring that you fitted for them, they love the work that you've done, you can ask them for a review, but they just won't do it. Not because they don't want to, but because you just have to give them that little kind of nudge to get them to actually go ahead and do it. Other things that have worked for other flooring companies have been where if you leave a review, we give you a 10, 20 pound dollar Amazon voucher. You know, everyone shops on Amazon these days, so it's a pretty easy thing to give away if they leave a review. And then once they obviously leave the review, you can see they've left it. You can just send them give them a form they fill out to then qualify for the Amazon voucher, and then you can obviously just email them or text them over the Amazon voucher. Noah asked, are there any specific SEO techniques or keywords that work well for local flooring companies? So when you say like specific techniques, really with SEO, you have kind of like the core strategies, and then you can build out different so you have SEO. It has like core principles, you know, like you have to have good quality content, you have to have good quality links, you have to be getting consistent links, you have to be getting consistent reviews, and you have to be, you know, constantly updating and keeping your website fresh with new content. So that's kind of the main kind of strategy that you need to be sticking to. But there, you know, specific SEO techniques, it's going to be, you know, when people are actually writing reviews, making sure that they're putting, you know, they're specifying the types of flooring that you've actually helped them with within the review. Again, Google can read those keywords when it's crawling through those reviews and looking at that content. And sometimes when you search, for example, for, you know, like carpet in a particular location, and then you see like the reviews come up, you'll actually notice that Google highlights in bold some of the keywords in those reviews. So you can tell that it's actually reading those reviews, and you can tell that it's using the keywords from those reviews. So that's one kind of very specific thing that you could do when it comes to targeting specific types of flooring. Again, specific SEO techniques for flooring, you're going to be making sure that you're getting citations. So basically putting your website on directories that are relevant to flooring companies. So, you know, flooring directories and things like that. There are going to be flooring directories out there, or kind of construction and home improvement directories. And you're going to also be wanting to reach out to the right kind of companies that are going to give you good quality links from, you know, good quality links that are from relevant places. And then, you know, keywords that work well for local flooring companies. Again, main thing you need to be doing is targeting the top level topic. So for example, like I've got here, flooring London is the top level topic. Then you can start targeting, you know, like vinyl flooring London, carpet London, all within this page. And Google, you don't even have to write particular keywords on a page for Google to actually rank you for them. So for example, I've had pages that have ranked for keywords that aren't even written on this page, but Google understands that those keywords are related to this page and this topic. So by optimizing for this very top level kind of keyword, flooring London, you will then also rank for things like flooring company London, flooring services London. Even if they wasn't even written in here, you would start getting picked up for those keywords. You know, and there's obviously a ton of different variations of the same keyword. So, you know, you don't need to worry these days about kind of stuffing all of these different keywords in this content and then making the content kind of, you know, poorly written. You know, when people stuff keywords into content, it ends up being poorly written. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to make sure that you've got the kind of the main kind of overall overarching keywords in the main headings, your heading 1s, your heading 2s, heading 3s, and then you can kind of write the kind of main content kind of naturally, and Google will understand what that content's about, and it will pick out those kind of variations of different keywords from your content. And then Mia asked, last question is, how can we use email marketing to keep in touch with past clients and find new leads? So the best thing that you can do with emails is, you know, for example, every time someone that comes in and purchases from you, or even makes an inquiry from you, you want to create a newsletter that is kind of evergreen. So what I mean by evergreen is it doesn't matter if you put that person into your newsletter today or in a year's time, that content is still going to be relevant. So essentially, you could create one email today, and then the next person that comes into your shop and makes an inquiry, you could say, do you mind if we put you into our email list, and then you could put them into that email campaign. You could then write an email the following week, and let's say that you had your email newsletter that goes out once every 2 weeks. Write another email the following week. Make sure that it's an evergreen email, so it's not related to anything that's going on at this moment in time. It could be a bit of information about flooring or something like that. And then that person that was signed up then would go through to that next one in 2 weeks. And then you can keep adding people into this email list, into this email campaign. And you can keep writing emails. And, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, 2 years down the line, you can just keep adding people into this campaign. And it's evergreen. You're always going to be in front of the right people. Even if they've made an inquiry and they're not ready to buy there and then, if they're in this campaign, you're still going to be sending them little bits of information about your company. And even if they're not reading that, even if they're not even reading that email, they're just seeing the subject line come up in their inbox, and it might be your company name and then it might be subject line. They're still seeing your brand. And if they haven't purchased flooring still, even though they come in and made an inquiry from you, if they haven't purchased any flooring since that day, they're seeing your brand and they're constantly being reminded of you. And that's why an email newsletter is a massively important thing for any company, not just flooring companies, but just any company to stay in touch, with your potential customers or past customers. And let's not forget as well, even past customers, people that have already bought off you, they might buy again in the future. But not just that, if someone asks them, down the pub or wherever, do you know anyone that does flooring? And you're always sending them, like a monthly newsletter or something like that, they're going to think of you straight away because you're always top of mind, So that is, so that's it really. That's all of the questions today. And that is kind of the end of the first podcast. So obviously, any questions that you have in the future, obviously drop me an email or, join on Tuesdays, and I will answer them live. So yeah, obviously thanks for listening. Obviously watch the replay if you haven't watched it live, and look forward to the next one.